Greetings and merry meet. Blessed be everyone. This is Uoth. Welcome to my video number 4 in regards to uh, 2025 predictions. So I want to kind of review, um, you know, some things in one of my past videos in regards to the definition of predictions. Okay, so there's different types of predictions, and I call what's common predictions. Now, this is a term that I made up, and you you can Google it in your search bar and search engine, and you will not come up with common predictions. Okay, it's just something that I've come to realize and identify and stuff that there's different types of predictions. So it's a common predictions, not like um, intuitive predictions, psychic predictions. Okay, common predictions um, go as far as even astrology. Okay, so let's talk about this so you have an understanding. So a good example of common predictions. So here we are in January 2025. California's been ablaze. They've had some really bad fires, and they've had one that was just burning up a lot of homes and everything and stuff in the hills, in the mountains, whatever there. And so common predictions are made from either um, they're a string of events that happen to where you can predict the final outcome of an event that's more likely is going to happen. And so it's a repetitive occurrence that happens, and because of this situation with the fires and stuff, it's just known throughout history and experience throughout our lives that when this happens, more likely this is going to happen. Okay, this other end results is going to happen. So a good example is the fires in California. So when we have massive fires in the mountains, along the benches, the foothills, and stuff like that, that burn up all the ground shrubs, all the ground debris, and everything and stuff of leaves and sticks and branches, whatever, burns up trees, you know, it burns up everything, and so it leaves just nothing but soil. All right. There's nothing to hold back the water when it rains. And when it rains, after a massive fire like that, a very destructive fire like that, more than likely you're going to have mudslides, floods, you know, and that's going to cause a lot of damage to the valley below and the inhabitants below. It's going to destroy homes, etc. So that is what I call a common prediction. Okay. Um, a common prediction would be like, okay, well, you know, earthquakes. I mean, if there's a repetitive ritual or history of a state or an area within a state, or, that has a lot of earthquakes, you can predict, oh, yeah, they're going to have an earthquake this year. Well, that's true. Utah usually has about 20 or more earthquakes a year. They're not all felt, they're not all on a magnitude that can be felt, but we always constantly have earthquakes, But when somebody predicts that, usually there is one out of those dozens of earthquakes that can be felt. I just knocked the camera. Not a coincidence. So, but can be felt. And so they're going to say, see, my predictions were right. Well, of course, that's just a common prediction. Another common prediction, what have you stuff, is, the economy. You know, um, you can, when you have figures to look at and you have history of ups and downs, and events that are happening. Um, for an example, we can predict that food prices are going to be going up and everything that you buy is going to be going up. Okay. Because of President Trump's tariffs that he's putting on other countries and stuff. Well, they're going to raise their tariffs too as well, and so as a form of defense, so I mean, that can be easily predicted. It doesn't take a psychic prediction, or it doesn't take a psychic to predict that. Another one as well is astrology. Astrology um, is you're taking positions of planets, through an ephemeris, and so you're looking up the ephemeris of where these planets are going to be aligned and what have you and stuff at certain times of the year, to all the way down to certain types using mathematics and formulas and stuff to a specific timeline, you know, uh, of the day. Um, uh, so and then you're calculating them up, and then you're taking the known historical um, information that's been recorded in regards to the aspects of those planets and the effects that they've had through the past, that it affect the earth, has affected us, and stuff like that, and then calculating them, you know, and through your mathematical calibrations and stuff like that, and coming up with an ultimate result. That's not really a psychic, Um, through the actions of the government, the politics and everything and stuff like that, new laws being put in place. I mean, it's easy to predict that, oh, yeah, these migrants and what having stuff who are being deported back to, with these new deportation laws with Donald Trump and everything and stuff, putting in place, that they're going to revolt, and there's going to be a lot of, civil unrest and violence and stuff. They're going to fight back, and they're going to be, rebellious about being deported back to Mexico, back to their home country. That is just a common prediction, because what's going to happen, because not all of them just going to go back peacefully. A lot of them, I can predict that, look at, there's about 3 million, little over 3 million illegal migrants in the state of California. Okay. Well, excuse me, there's a little over 2 million. Let me correct myself. I got my millions. Okay, screwed up. Okay, so there's a little over 2 million migrants, illegal migrants in the state of California. Now, to put that on a scale, there's a little over 3 million uh, people who live in this state of Utah, where I'm from, where I'm born and raised. In the state of Utah, where I'm currently at, there's a little over 3 million. So there's almost as many illegal immigrants in the state of California compared to the total population of this state of Utah. So that's, and so I can, you can just commonly predict that, something, through just common sense. What's the easiest way to raise havoc? Start everything on fire. You know what I mean? Burn up the city, start buildings on fire, throw, all sorts of kind of, what I'm saying, however they do it and what have you stuff. That's a common prediction. You can pretty much say, okay, with everything that's going on, and the way things have manifested and taken place, more likely this is going to be the outcome of these chain of events that's happened. That's all common predictions. Okay. So when you get into absolute predictions, a true psychic really, in all reality, cannot predict something many years ahead. Okay, they use common predictions, and they study history. They see where things have happened in the history that they can see that are happening now, and because of the result of those things that happened in the history ended up this way, more than likely we're going to end up like that too as well, in regards to the phrase history always repeats itself. So being a psychic, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way with a true psychic. A psychic will having stuff, a lot of times um, don't receive um, uh, they don't receive those messages until just before they actually happen, manifest. So when it's like, for an example, um, with our situation with Mexico, Trump's doing with Mexico and what have you stuff, he's already, as I mentioned in my past video, he's already mentioned that they've already made pretty much the drug cartels and stuff. They've labeled them as terrorists. So, and they, and then they're talking about putting boots on the ground in Mexico to deal with these cartels, military boots on the ground. And so, but however, I did in my previous video and what have you stuff, um, two videos actually. I think it was video number 2 is where I actually brought up the subject of the Mexican cartels, etc. And we will be going to war with Mexico. Now that's a psychic prediction, because nothing can predict when having stuff that we're going to be actually going to war, even with a stream of events. So in regards to um, this post on YouTube, this video this person posted on YouTube, I don't know much about her background, and I'm not here to discredit her or anything like that. It's just to point out the fact that she does use engage in astrology in her predictions. And again, to me, uh, within my past 30 years of studying occult sciences, astrology, esoteric magic, etc., um, I've come to know and understand that astrology is what I would categorize as a common prediction. Okay. Um, and so it's not to discredit her at all, because I mean, um, common predictions are very useful, like predicting the forecast, the weather and stuff like that, using instruments and stuff, using technology, radar systems and different things, and so they're very useful. They're very, very useful. And the thing about it is when it comes to common predictions of future outcomes of a string, based on a string of events, uh, people are going to, you're going to get different types of predictions, which neither one of them is basically wrong, so to speak. It's just some are going to be a little more accurate than others. But I can tell you, okay, when it comes to um, psychic predictions, like I explained earlier, um, it's a string of events and what have you stuff that happens that triggers um, a phenomena with true psychics, where they receive messages, or they receive impressions, I should say, or visions of a specific event unfolding and manifesting to the final outcome. Okay. So the big thing is with Mexico, we are going to go to war with Mexico. We are going to war with Mexico. Um, the cartels and what have you stuff don't like to be threatened. They don't like to be threatened, and they when they feel like there's a threat, they want to take it out, or they want to send a message. And that's exactly what's going to happen. That's going to spark a war with Mexico. Is they? It's just their nature. It's a way they've operated forever, for decades. You know, they do not like to be threatened. They do not like their power and control to be threatened. They don't like to be told what they can and can't do. And they you know they will go out of their way to prove that they can. Okay. But again, with common predictions or common, we all know that the Mexican cartels are embedded deep within the Mexican government. We know that. We know that. And so, um, what if Mexico did become the 51st state? Hmm? You know, what would happen? So, we're going to talk about this. So, what if Mexico did want to become the 51st state of America, but still kind of retain its sovereignty, so to speak, kind of like Texas? That's possible. In fact, that's inevitable. I'm telling you. This is a psychic prediction and an intuitive prediction message that I have received. Um, that it is going to happen. It is going to happen. Again, the cartels do not like to be told that they can't do something. They don't like to be threatened, and when they are, they retaliate big time. It's just their nature. It's just their nature, and that's what's going to spark an actual war with United States, and we will have boots on the ground. Now, a string of events that has currently happened that definitely sparked this trigger of cognitive or, you know, perceptions, collective perceptions, future predictions. Uh, it hit me hard and strong. And once in a while, a psychic gets those collective that collective information, the collective outcome of future events, to the point to where it's so strong they know that it's inevitable. It is going to happen no matter what, no matter what. And so, and you know, things take shape and become this ultimate priority, this ultimate endeavor. And in all reality, um, this is something that um, has been in manifestation um, for a long time. Okay. It's been planned, it's been organized, pieced together, planned out. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, again, as I mentioned in a lot of my videos and stuff like that, the government, the left and the right, whatever, Democrats, libertarians, whatever you may want to call it, they're all part of this two headed snake that belongs to the same body. Now, what is this body? This body is, of course, this higher level of elite power, so to speak. Call it the shadow government, whatever you want to call it, whatever you decide to call it. You know, it's this powerful governing force that is unknowable to a lot of people, not in a godly form, not in the actual creative energies, you know, but still on an earthly level. Um, that basically, they're the real true governors. Um, and this massive body, which is, if you picture a pie, is cut up in all these different powerful, you know, influential people or powers, governing powers, um, and they play the political arena to their best interests, so to speak. Um, this is something that, and the ultimate goal or endeavor, you know, um, is to not only to remain in power, but now I'm getting into some areas where I'm really hesitant to disclose because, and I apologize, but I'm not going to go there. Okay, so but anyway, so this has been shaped and formed and has been in the workings for quite some time now. Now, why do you think all these illegal immigrants come over to America? Why? What really attracts them? They don't come here to cause problems, the majority of them. The majority of them are just coming to find a better life to live for them and their families. And then you do have some of the cartel people coming drugs and but the majority of the people are really good people, very polite, very courteous, very kind, hardworking individuals and what have you stuff that's just wanting to get a good life for themselves and their family. So that's what's attracting them is the American lifestyle, you know, because it is obviously better than Mexico. Okay, and so the thing about it is they're when people do the research and why stuff, and they discuss the poverty level in Mexico versus the poverty level in the United States versus the poverty level in Canada, I think Mexico is like around 2 point something percent poverty, unemployment, and Canada is pretty high. Is over 6%, 6 point something percent, and America is 4.7%. The thing about it is the statistics. The bad thing about statistics is they can be manipulated, you know, and so you know when you start looking at objective evidence, objective truth, if Mexico treated their people so well and their employment was so low, then why are they coming to United States? Why are they coming to America to live the American dream? Why? So there's a lot of questions there that's needing answers, truth, honest answers, because the evidence does not stack up to their statistics of their economy and their social status. So um, the people of Mexico would love, the actual people of Mexico would love to become, would love to unite with America as the 51st state. Of course, they would like to keep their national sovereignty in regards to Mexican culture. And that's not hard to do. That's not hard to do. This is an opportunity that Trump knows. He's well aware of it. And trust me, he will take advantage of it because, again, it just strengthens these two massive countries coming together as one. It just strengthens everything. There's not going to be any more borders. We're going to be able to go down there and prosper just as much as they can come up here and prosper. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to become one big country. So it's like our economy is just going to boost. I mean, and regardless of all the critics and what have you and stuff, their actual evidence is not going to, there's not going to be any validity to it whatsoever. You know what I mean? It's just going to be out of discrimination. And they're going to try to gather up all these statistics and stuff that's going to back up their theories, but in all reality, you know, actual witnessing actual events and putting piecing it together. I mean, it's just like your state all of a sudden just growing 3 or 4 times bigger than what it actually is. Now, how's that going to hurt? It's going to open up more opportunity. It's going to be opening up more opportunity for growth. You know what I mean? Monetarily wise, and you know, production wise, and so I mean, it's actually a really good thing. So this is what's now. This is a long-term prediction. Okay, now, however, it starts a lot quicker than what I thought it was going to. We are going to be in war with Mexico here really, really soon. But the actual total transformation and final outcome it may take about 3 years, is what I'm looking at, is about 3 years, about a year before Trump actually, gets to the end of his 4 year term. It's going to manifest. It's going to happen. And he's going to go down in history as being that president that made that happen. And it's going to boost, I mean, and it's going to boost humanity and equality, a lot of things in regards to humanity and human rights, um and so it's going to open up, that's going to open up doors for a lot more. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is you know it's going to take, there's going to be some growth struggles along the way, which is totally common and natural. So, but anyway, now we've got in not just a 2025 prediction, but now we're venturing into, you know the whole 4 year term of the Trump presidency. So it's going to happen. You watch, it will happen.